If I don't do it, it won't get done right. Can you relate to this feeling that if you are not the one carrying all of the plates, that they will simply crash and burn and everything will be ruined and you'll have to pick them up anyways? Well, in this video, you are going to learn why that is not serving you. In fact, it is holding you back. And you're also going to learn how you can feel safe letting go of those plates so that you can begin to release this stress that you carry all of the time because of all of the obligations that you have in your life. And as a result, you'll be able to enjoy your life with way more presence. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider doing that now if you want to learn how to create inner tranquility in your life no matter what is happening around you. Even if you have a beyond stressful career, you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Over the past 8 years, I have had the honor of helping sensitive, high performers to release the decades of stress and emotional overwhelm that comes from their overloaded schedules. I help these women to rekindle their drive for ultimate fulfillment and productivity. And one of the first steps in this transformation is the understanding that your inability to let go, to delegate, or to trust that something is going to happen without you is control. And it is this control that is holding people back so much in being fulfilled in their careers, truly enjoying their relationships, and holding them back from other career opportunities. And many high-performing women who want to achieve and do great things struggle with an inability of letting things go, of delegating, of trusting that things are going to get done. And this is the thing that is holding them back the most. This need for control is creating a never-ending to-do list, a mountain of obligation that you have to climb every day. And it is keeping you busy doing things that you probably don't want to be doing, but feel like you have to do, which is taking you away from doing things that you actually really want to do and would enjoy doing. Not to mention that this inability to let go of control alienates the other people in our lives. Because when we hold on too tightly and we're unable to trust that another person is going to accomplish something to our standard, that person might take that as your lack of trust in them as a person, or that you don't believe in their abilities to get something done. Now, very recently, I was having a conversation with one of my clients, and she said this: I have too much work to do, and if I delegate, things will go wrong. You relate to this idea that when you delegate, that things are always wrong, that they are not up to your standards. When was the last time that you maybe felt this way, that you had a responsibility alone to complete everything on your list, or that you needed to take on way too much ownership over a group project? When was the last time that you felt an over responsibility for something? Because if you didn't, there would be consequences. Now, my client's story went a little something like this. Her business got really, really busy all of a sudden, which is great, means more money, more success, but it also meant more work. And the work just kept coming, and she was running out of hours in the day. So she would work more than her 8 hours a day. And then those hours seemed to dwindle into the night. And then she started cutting down on sleep. So then her sleep was interrupted and her energy was affected as a result. But that's okay because she can just start drinking more coffee. And so she would start drinking more coffee. And then when she finally would go to sleep at night, she found herself incredibly wired. And she just slowly started to get more and more and more exhausted, overrun, burnt out, and anxious, because this never-ending vicious cycle just kept going down and down and down. Her mind was so busy with all of the things, all of the balls that she had to keep up in the air, that she could not shut it off at night, and she simply could not fall asleep. She couldn't stay asleep because her body was in such a fight or flight response that she would wake up in the middle of the night and start reviewing her to-do list as it was. She would feel so exhausted all day long, resentfully working through all of these things. And yet, by the time she went to bed, she could not fall asleep. How frustrating is that? So very quickly, she realized that she was in this never-ending cycle and that she needed to do something about it. And luckily for my client is that she has a whole host of employees that are very capable and willing that work for her. When I asked this client what she was doing to help herself cope through this really challenging and stressful time, she said to me, I don't have time to cope with this. I don't have time to help myself right now. I just have to get through this time. And I asked her why that was. And she said, because I'm the only one who can do it all. If I don't do it, then it's not going to get done. Now, she spoke right to my heart because I could absolutely relate to this feeling of the crushing weight of a never-ending to-do list, feeling defeated and completely depleted because there is no end in sight. No help was available. And that's honestly how it feels. And that just makes it so uncomfortable. And it feels like you can barely keep your head above water. You are just always trying to get your need met. And this inability of letting go or being afraid of letting go is meeting a need within you because it might validate that you are enough, that you do great work in this world, and that you are important. It might tell you that you're safe because you are the one who is controlling the outcomes here, and that no matter what happens, at least it's on you. I want you to know, though, that even if you are feeling that soul-crushing feeling, that there is a solution out there for you. Even if it doesn't feel like it's even possible, you might just need to get a little bit creative and get a little bit more support to help you through this. Because through a series of questions that I walked my client through, she was able to see for the first time where it is that she was really feeling that fear of letting go, and how that fear of letting go was really serving her in that it was keeping her busy. When she was busy, she felt valuable. And when she felt valuable, it was affirming things within herself that were a little bit wounded. So in reality, this inability to let go, this need for control, was just trying to keep her safe within her own human experience. But it was not serving her. So if you feel a need to control, or you have a fear of letting things go and trusting others with your delegation, let's discuss how you can begin to just loosen the grip a little bit and feel safe in letting go of some of the tasks on your list. The truth about control, or your fear of letting go, is that it is about a fear. When we are controlling, we are acting out of a deeply rooted fear within us. And when you are controlling, it's not much of a stretch to imagine that you are controlling because you want things done right. And you are stressed out that if you don't do it, that it won't get done right, or even done at all. There is a lack of trust in others' abilities to accomplish the task or to complete it in the way that is up to your standards, which can make you feel unsafe because you don't want the blame to be on you if things don't go the way that you really want them to. So you believe that if you control everything, that everything will be done perfectly and everyone will be happy and no one will get mad at you. And then at that time, you can relax. And that maybe is fair enough. But when we are talking about the fear that needs to be transformed, in this example, what I would like to look at is this fear of letting other people down. What would it mean for you if this project failed? What would it mean if you disappointed your leader? What would it mean if you didn't put on the perfect party? And it's also about what will come after something is not accomplished by you that I really want you to dig into. How would you feel if something was not done right? If somebody did it in a different way than you would have done it? How does that affect you and make you feel? Why is it important that you be the one to complete this? And why are you the ultimate authority on what is right? Why do you get to decide the standard at which something is completed? Because your standards are probably not even reasonable for you. So if you're vibing so far with what I'm saying and you would like to maybe let go of a couple plates, let's begin by asking yourself just a few questions that you can begin to loosen this grip. If you are feeling seen by what I am saying, please let me know by hitting the like button and let me know in the comments below. Where is it that you really struggle to let go of control? I know for me, I really struggle letting go of control when I am in the kitchen watching somebody cook or do dishes. I always find myself itching to take over because I have a very particular way of doing things. And even though I've worked through a lot of my need for control, that is one area that I am still absolutely working on. And I'll be the first to admit, I'm not Chef Boyardee, okay? I'm not the best chef ever. But it drives me nuts sometimes, the order that people cook, and it just doesn't make sense. So don't leave me hanging out here. Let me know in the comments below, where is it that you really find it like impossible to let go of control, or you feel that need to do it yourself? I'd love to continue this chat below. I don't believe in forcing yourself to do anything. So I will not ask you to just stop controlling, because if it were that easy, you would have already done it when somebody confronted you about being a control freak or got mad at you for not trusting them with something, right? Instead, I find it much more effective to use our emotion to move us into an embodied change instead of just trying to force yourself to do something from your mind. This is a very limited power source. We need to get this transformation happening in the body. And so we are going to move you into emotion through a series of questions. So I want you now, if you have a moment, to just maybe take a couple breaths, just kind of come into the present moment, connect into your body, maybe place your hands on your heart, or just decide that you're coming more into your body. And I want you to think about some tasks that you have to do maybe today or this week. If I were to say to you, you have to delegate one of those tasks right now, what just happened inside? Even the slightest, tiniest shift. Did your stomach drop a little bit? Did you get butterflies? Did you have a wave of no? No matter what it is, just pay attention to it. There's no wrong answers here, because this tells us that there is an emotional story going on that is leading to this control. There is a root there. There is something much deeper within you that is motivating your control. Now, this delegated task that you just have to get rid of, who could you give it to? Hypothetically speaking, who is it that you could give it to? And is it that they can't be trusted? Or is it that they just won't do it like you can? And either answer is completely okay. We just want to be honest with ourselves. Just trust the initial answer that comes up. They don't ever have to know that that's how you feel about them. Now, let me ask you this. Who in your life would you pick up from the hospital? Not in an emergency situation, but just because you loved them enough that you would be there for them. And would they do the same for you? If the answer is yes, it is time for you to share a little bit more about what is weighing heavily on your heart, and potentially share some of these tasks that you have. It is time for you to have a conversation with one of these people about where you're actually at and ask them to take some things off of your plate. Because if they love you enough to take care of you and to pick you up from a place where you are weak and you can't give anything back to them, then they are somebody who loves you and who wants you to be happy. And they may not be the perfect person for that one big ugly task that we talked about at the beginning of this, but they might be someone in your life who could lighten your load in another area, but you're just feeling too guilty to ask them for it. If the answer is no, that they would not reciprocate and pick you up from the airport, and they're not a child, they're a full-grown adult, then perhaps there is an opportunity here for you to shift away from this relationship and all of the obligations that come with that particular relationship, so that you can get your time back from a person who is not willing to meet you in the same amount of love and support that you were giving to them. Because chances are that you overgive to so many people in your life. And if you are already depleted, if your schedule is overrun with to-do lists, it does not need to be filled up with more things or more people who will not pour back into you. How are you feeling after asking yourself just those few questions? Do you have any more clarity on maybe some things that you need to get off your schedule for people who maybe don't support you the same way? Maybe this isn't a change that you can do right away, but maybe it's something that you're now aware of and that you can start to take steps towards. No one is asking you to let go of control today and drop all of your tasks and responsibilities. But this is an opportunity for you to somewhat begin to see more clearly the reality of your situation and where you're spending your time and who you are giving your energy to, and to ask yourself if that is really where you need to be prioritizing your time and energy. Because here's the thing that we all forget: if you want to create more time in your schedule for you to just like chill or watch Netflix or read a little bit, that does not make you lazy. You don't need to fill up any pocket of free time with something that makes you feel more productive so that you can feel valuable. And if you are finding that you have this need to constantly be busy, there is something deeper that is motivating you to do that. And if you would like support in uncovering what these wounds are, where these fears come from that are keeping you feeling stuck and overwhelmed and feeling like you are drowning, I am here to support you. I would love to help you to uncover what it is that is holding you back and to create an action plan so that you can begin to create a life of more peace and fulfillment. And I would love to chat with you on a one-on-one call. It is absolutely free and it won't take more than 45 minutes, and you'll walk away with so much clarity and excitement for this road ahead. If you're interested in speaking with me one-on-one, I will put the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here with me. I know that this topic is really emotionally charged, so I really do want to hear from you. If you are triggered by what I am saying, if you are like, yes, I really do want to work through this, I just have no idea how, I want to speak with you because there is a solution for you, even if you can't see it. And I'm here to support you through this because you deserve to have power over your own time and not be controlled by that nagging voice in your head that says that you should be better, you should do more, and just shoulds all over you all the time. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate it more than you can ever know. If you've made it this far, please do me a huge favor and like this video and share this with a friend who might also struggle a little bit with letting go out of fear that it won't get done up to her standards. And when you are ready, please watch this video next.